Hello out there, James here. I wanted to go in a totally different direction. What this video is called, it's going to be around the Hebraic religion, and it's going to consistently talk about. It's going to talk about different people teaching the Hebraic teachings from the camps to churches and to individuals, and my opinion, who I really like in the teaching, and why do I like their teaching, and I'm gonna state this for very different reasons. And it's far and very few people that I have noticed that, even though they're not, they come up in a long way as far as their, they were once in the church, but now that they in the Hebraic faith and they honoring things by the Torah in the Bible. And usually people don't make videos saying something like this. And I was thinking about this tonight, and I was watching those camps that you see on YouTube. They're very knowledgeable with the word. They very well spoken with the word, but there's something that they're not doing that's obvious. If you say that you're a prophet, and if you're saying that you know your scriptures, you can sound very intelligent with the Bible. You got some people in other religions can look at the Bible and sound very intelligent. But the question will come down to, when people speak, here's the key: are they being set free? And is God doing it, or are you doing it for your own glory, or your organization doing it for your own glory? There's a couple Hebraic brothers I'm going to shout out there, and I watched a whole slew of videos from different camps and individuals who have the Hebraic name. And out of all these individuals, one couple people has set apart who are the real men of God, who fit the Bible, who fit the Torah. One of the names I'm going to say is Rebirth. And the brother Josh, young brother Josh, and the brother Morai. Why did I pick Rebirth? Because Rebirth, they tell you who you are, they explain the scriptures, but they went even more in depth on the history of their videos. They showed the history, like most of the people do in the Hebraic faith, who we are as the people, how we are the people who was in the scripture. But they do something really even more. Now, before, they came out of a church, but one thing that stood out was they didn't leave the principles of Yeshua behind, because they knew they was able to advance their ministry. And I'm going to tell you another guy I really admire, is that they speak and they apply what they say. And when I saw that video of people among their congregation and people who have yet come among them, one thing that stood out what they was doing, that was what Yeshua was doing under his guidance of Yah, was he was getting people set free. He was helping them get deliverance. He was helping them cast things out, and then speak life into them so it can break depression. And all the other generational curses. That's what I like about Joshua Out of all they one of the few Hebraic brothers on YouTube, social media I've ever seen doing something. I have never seen none of these camps do that. They have gotten in front of people, and yeah, they give it's good for information and history and everything, and why your people, what's going on, why you and they're too busy attacking the church. And there's some churches that wasn't called of God. But the really thing that I found out, at least you can say with the Christians. At least you can say with the Christians. They pray for them. They don't just not only that they read them the scriptures, but they apply the scriptures. They apply when they pray. They pray and say, hey, let's get together and let you see if you want to accept Yeshua as your personal savior. Second, then once the individual come there and they hear and they minister truth, then when you of Yeshua, the whole atmosphere changes. Because when Yeshua is speaking and he uses you as a representative, you don't have to sit down. You don't have to have a certain uniform. You don't have, they know when it's real. The first thing to be the wise thing to do is when people get to know who they are, what their identity is, they gotta get set free, spiritually free. And God has to, and the Most High have to take them on this process. Then once they get to set the process, first they have to get deliverance of their things, because you can join some camp, you can join something and still have the same struggles that someone, even though you're trying to hold down the law and hold down the commandments and law, but you can still, something in your flesh can satanically move you out of it if you don't deal with the deeper problem before you can claim your heritage. And the Most High have a process of this. He has a process. And the second brother I want to shake out is Brother L. He was the one out there praying. He was out there going to the hospital bed and praying for the sick. In his video, he's the one is baptizing his family, his friends, and those who come to his ministry. He the one that go travel to the city and he baptize them and give honor to Yah and Yeshua. And then when you with them, then they're able to open up their eyes and understand the kingdom of who they are as we are the people. There's a process that you have to go through. And I don't hear none of these camps don't do that. They up there banging on each other with different words and everything, and they going against the people who are in the one community and the other community. Meanwhile, all the people in that impoverished community throughout the country is spiritually dying. They're being tormented by spirits. They've been tormented by demons and stuff. They want to be set free. There's some people who are homeless and hungry. They need to say, and what's good is, yeah, this is who you are, my brother, my sister, but your brother and sister might need a pair of clothes. Your brother and sister not only need to hear the word, but they might need some food. They might need some water. They might need some information how to get some shelter. That's what our people need, just like any other people that need. And this is something that I don't hear them talking too much about. And I mean, like I said, it's wonderful to learn about the history of black people. It's wonderful. I think it's great to identify. But I watched them over the years, and all these individuals in some of these camps. But but in order to be an ambassadorship of Yah, and say that you're a prophet and of that kingdom of Yah, everybody's on one accord. and if you're going to have all these people out there who are your men standing like bodyguards, how come no one has this? What's going to happen when the real thing rolls up? What is going to happen when Satan manifests the people around, and when you might get in an argument with you, and they might have some political force can knock you back. I mean, show you something. I'm just saying, everybody's talking all tough and talking all this and stand at the corner, but it's gonna come a time that and it's just like the same way like God has to deal with the church. You say that you're the army of the Lord. There's gonna come a time you will be tested, because if you haven't noticed, in the last day, evil has increased in the people. And I think this is a message that needs to get out to people. People, if you listen to some Hebraic Ministries on YouTube, and you want to get yourself set free, I would go to hear a brother like Brother L and Rebirth. The brothers that down at Reboot, which their channel is Hebrew Nation, and Brother Josh and Brother Murat. And another brother that is very sincere brother is the brother with the Issachar channel. He really do pray. He really do intercede. He really do seek him and his wife go seek for the Most High what to do. What do our people need to do? At the same time, he got a platform to learn about the heritage, but at the same time, he has a division that I need prayer, and this is what people need. People who are just coming to know this new thing about the Hebraic teachings of the word and who they are as the people. But you see all these people debating with the pastors, debating with this. What's it doing for the kingdom of God? Well, of Yah. What's it doing? And they trading insults across the airways. What good is it going to do when you have what you going to explain one day? When it could be tomorrow. God, Yah will show up. Yeshua will show up with all the kingdom of heaven. What you going to explain to him that you were down here banging, knowing about the law? When somebody, it should be one should have been learning. It should be a shepherd, but it should be give your men to teach, fast, pray, give them the word, pray for the people, ask him to set them free, spiritually free, not just with words, and but it's time to apply the word. It's time to apply the word, and I don't see too many brothers applying the word. Everybody reads and quote the word and history of the word, but people want to see to apply the word. You know why some people go out to different places and they seek different gods? Do you know why they want to do magic? Do you want to know why they want witchcraft? Do you know why they desired it? Because even if they read something, they're going to apply it. But the Most High wants them not to do that. But he wants to raise an army so they will be under his ship, when to apply and give the glory back to him. Not make themselves into a god, not puff themselves up in the spirit. That the people will recognize it's the Most High through Yeshua. That's being humble, being in the Hebraic teaching or in Christianity teaching. And I've been warned, I finally wanted, I've been wanting to say this. And I've seen the silly. I mean, it's like I've been watching these guys for the past 5 years. And like, what are they doing? They coming out, they stand on the corner, but what are they doing? Are they helping people get set free? They go in, they in the poor and impoverished community, and they here too, in the state. But what are they doing? Or what are they? It's fine that you give them the word of history, and that they want to know. But let's say they do get the identity, and once you give them the Old Testament, you might give them the old things. But there's one thing that's going to lead them into the presence of Yah, They need His Spirit. They need His guidance. It's not just a man just watching, teaching, or going into some private assembly. What the people are going to need is the Spirit of Yah. They're going to need the Ruach. They need the one that testified when Yeshua was on the earth. He said, I send the Comforter to show you in all my ways of your Father. That's what the people need. And I don't hear none of these camps and none of these other individuals leading them to that's the proper direction. So that's why you have all this stuff stirring in some camps. Because they're going about the wrong they're going about the wrong way. It's first, if you come to your people, if you say you are, take some position and take some name that was out of your ancient name, that you say that, and you trying to call yourself Ben Yah or whatever, and try to use Yah's last name, just like he gave the angels the name. Then at some point, the name has to manifest in what your name is. If you put His name behind your name, it's got to manifest. Is your name manifested? Is your name manifested in His name? If you say that you the God, if you is His prophets, if you are His child, or you are the ones that sent, there's something that needs to come behind it with just words. That's what the people are looking for, and that's why there's so much. Oh yeah, this is so much attack, but they spend more time attacking the church than saying, well, that's what your pastor doing this, your pastor doing that, what your pastor, yeah, but even though you should be tithing like this and offerings like that, and you should be keeping the Old Testament law, and blah 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 blah. Okay, but at least with some Christians, they bring them to the kingdom. Or are you bringing people to the kingdom? This is what I would have to ask. Or is your Hebraic ministry bringing people to the kingdom? Or is your assembly bringing people to the kingdom? I have to, come on now. Or are you doing this for puffed up and self-glory? That's not Yah. That's not through His Son Yeshua. That's not the way the kingdom of heaven goes. Wasting time. How is it that many men, all these men that's doing this and dressed up in these different outfits, they can't figure that out? In different organizations, why they can't figure that out? Screaming and hollering at the corner. And you're lucky that it is Yah to have the mercy. But it might be a time where Yah might have to take His hand off and let you show you, or you really part of His army. Because whatever you say, when you out there pumping and you going at people and things like that, okay, what you gonna do when He throw a test at you? He tests us all, even the ones that's in the church. What you gonna do? Do you have the power that behind that word? Do you know how to operate behind that word? Look at the priest of Scabia. When they said that, when they think that they had the power, they had the boldness, when confronted with a situation, they had no power. They knew of the name of Yeshua, but they had no power. Are you in alignment with the power of Yah, true Yah? Were you really sent of true Yah, or was you sent by man? Are you giving Him the glory? Because when you give Him the glory, things manifest. Whether you're a Christian or whether you're a Hebrew, something's going to manifest when you're in righteousness. And you don't need a whole army of people at the corner. It could be one or two of you to give the word. But in the process of you presenting the word, the people who you're talking to, when you step yourself aside, when Yah takes over, and those who talk among them, then He takes over the person, the center where he's at. the lost young man where he's at, in the gang, the woman's in prostitution, the drug addict. This is where he's at. And he wants to set them free, but he wants to go deeper in their pain. He wants to set them free. If you use the individual to give them words to set them free before I can put them over into their heritage. I gotta deal with the problem deeper than problem. So when they do, and this is probably doing the same time with the children. Once I deal with the problem, then later on, the next thing that I can give them their heritage. That's the same way it was some of us. I didn't just, when I started learning this truth, first of all, I had to get deliverance. Before I had to come and had to learn this from the church, which some Hebraic ministries don't agree. But this is a reality of what really happened. Before you can elevate to a whole different teaching and understanding about the Torah and understanding about the Hebraic, sometimes the church is like a stepping stone. And some of these brothers should understand this. You don't just start out for something and you don't step on something. You had to start from somewhere. And that's the bad thing, to attack, these particular churches. First of all, that can put you in judgment real quick. And while you talking and banging on these churches, you could be setting yourself up that the angel of the Lord could be writing in the very words that you'll use against and scream out in the street in front of the whole entirely heaven and the universe. Then Satan, and then you can turn into a religious zealot. Watch this now. And then the very words, and if one of you guys would leave this earth, you had to stand before the king and count, what did you say? I'm just saying. See, everybody big and bad and bold. But when in every individual, when you step out your organization or step among your congregation or whatever, you're going to have to stand before the Most High individually. It ain't going to be 100 people, whatever. And that's when you're going to have to give account for every word you have spoken and insulted to someone on that street. If it wasn't no message, no positive message, or the kingdom message, you're going to be accountable for it. That's why watch what you say. But one thing I love about these other brothers, Rebirth and this brother L, not only that they learn about themselves. First, before they learn about themselves, they had to get to set the people free. Then they're able to, when people see free, then they're able to elevate the people to the different level of understanding who Yah is and how his kingdom, and I can see it in their teaching, in the Hebraic teachings that they do. That's how uniquely that is. In opposed to, you see some of these guys on the corner or these organizations banging out with the same old thing for the past 5 years. They have, it's history. History is good. Identity is good. But before you get to the history identity, you have to be set free. Because you could be puffed up and know about history, and everybody can learn about history. But the thing about it is, most people don't care about history. They want to be set free. If I go to a homeless person or a person who's on depression, they're not caring about their identity. They want to be set free. They want prayer. They want me to see if I'm saying I'm the ambassador of Yah or his prophet or use any terminology, then I have to show what the kingdom says I am. Then I have to display whether I'm in people or around my people or in or out of season. Because the witness of the kingdom is never gone when you shut down for the day. The kingdom's an eternity, and you continue to watch from the kingdom. So, this is what I'm trying to understand. Watching some of these guys out here, and they screaming at the corner, some of them cussing, using G-damn and everything else. and trying to use local lingo. Where is the change? Where is the change in you? Where is the kingdom speaking out of you? Some talk like it, but it's something about the kingdom. When people know, when you're in the ambassadorship of Yeshua, they know there's a certain presence, there's a certain things, and some of these guys ain't got it. I know they put on the clothing, I know they put on the toughness, I know they put on the discipline, I know that they do this, but it's something about the kingdom man and the kingdom woman, whether they're Christian or whether they're Hebrew. They don't have to do all that. They don't have to do all that. The kingdom knows. People, before they don't have to wear a certain outfit. The kingdom knows. People know kingdom. The sinners know when something is holy. Before you can hit people with scriptures, they already know. Because it's something that's in you. And people, even they go to curse and swear and act up, it's something about, because in your presence, they respect you. And people can't even swear. They're like, man, I can't even, oh, I'm sorry. And even the sinner knows when you're holy, when holiness is around you. Do you speak of holiness? That's what kingdom is. So when you say you his child, or his prophet, or any in his positions, from the kingdom, from the book, people looking to apply for it. Kingdom knows kingdom. Even the dark kingdom, people in the dark kingdom know when they know a kingdom person. Yeah, people who don't believe in God, people don't like God, people don't like Yeshua, but they know something kingdom. Do any of these people fear you? Because you could, like I said, and they even said that even Satan knows the Bible. He quoted it to Jesus. And I was talking with someone the other day. They were saying that Satan, before he came to the earth, he was up there with God. So he knows the word better than you do. And then they try to say that it's a man that is the devil. I heard some of them say that the man's the devil. The devil, Satan, is a spirit. He's a spirit. He's a fallen angel. Period. That has an army that operates through people. He has a seed that's in the land that are children up under his children that hates Yeshua, that hates the Most High. That there's rich, well individuals, and everybody knows it. They are the seed of Satan, not the whole entire race. There's certain individuals are the seed of Satan, not the race. It's not had nothing to do with black. It has nothing to do with white. It has something to do with power. But even though it came from that seed that designed the evilness in the world, that they took, the forbidden things that the Most High didn't want to, and applied them, and did everything that manifests things. These individuals are of the one. It's not a race of people. It's a spirit that's in these people, an evil spirit. Just like there's a good spirit in people, God has his own. Most High have his own, but the other one, there's a seed of the serpent. And that's another thing I wanted to bring to. But I just wanted, this was the year to really shout out even to Brother L and the brother over the Issachar channel. I think his name's Dwayne. He's the only. It's like them the only three guys I heard that seem like operating kingdom. Not caught up with this foolishness and stuff. Let's get the people first. Then you can reveal the things of the kingdom, the heritage, and everything goes along with it, the language and everything. And that's what I learned from all the people I've listened to over in so if anybody want to know the true me, who's truly teaching it, who are really of Yah, who's really of God, who's speaking the oracles of the kingdom. I would say them three individuals right there. Everybody else is just is man seeking glory. Let's be honest, they just seeking their own glory for their own purpose. And they reading out of the same word, and they looking tough and growing and mighty. But yet, where are they applying it? And kingdom people apply what they do in that word. They go into activation of the word. Whatever the Father gives them, He activate right behind them. Whatever. If it means, go over there and pray for this person and help, and the Most High said, I will cast those spirits out. I need you over there praying with him. And this is direction of under his spirit, his ruach. I need this sister tell the head man she wants that she's ready to get baptized. Go through the process of getting baptized. Going through the process of receiving his spirit. That's kingdom. And whether it's in the Christianity church or whether it's the Hebraic religion, that's kingdom. And another thing about that. Now, some people, I was hearing one thing about the tithes. It's true, God don't need your tithes. That's true. But and people can choose to do what they want to do. But if He bless you with something, and if it's a job, if He bless you with something, give a heart and give it to the ministry, because that ministry, whatever it may be, will come back tenfold. It may help your family. You might need a blessing. You might have a hard time individually. You might be going through some health in your body. It might that He remembered the tithe. It can be having someone who you love. So why take that chance? Why take that chance? Well, it's not in the scripture, but hey, do it anyway, and give your 10%, because hey, and that's up. That's what I learned recently too. Because like if you honoring that man, and the person you honor your tithe with, they interceding and they praying for you, and the Most High is honored in heaven. And so when your time comes of your struggle, when your personal struggle, whether it's in you or your family or individual, He remembers that. When you gave it a good faith, and He shall press and measure over it. Another thing about it, the testimonies. Had there some people say, you know what, I quit smoking and drinking because of the Most High. I keep gambling. I keep messing around because of the Most High. Even though I slipped up, I messed up, I screwed up, even at that, but it was the Most High that forgave me and loved me. The mercy. That's some stories they need to learn. Because you're going to trip up. Sometimes some of us fall back into temptations if you're not strong enough. Sometimes you're not in the face of the Most High enough. But I didn't mean to go on this rant, but I just want to send shout out to them, man. I know they don't hear many people say this, but shout out to the kingdom people who really hold it down for the kingdom of God. And I've learned some things from the teachings. You learn something when it's something valuable. There's some people who can go out and get truth, and truth is good. But what is behind it? How does it benefit? Everybody have truth, but are they using it for good, for information, or are they using it to get popularity? Or what their motive is. We know that this is an evil, corrupt world. You can't take away from that. But But the main thing of it is, look what we have. So I just wanted to send a shout out and tell people there's a difference. If those of you who are transitioning and want true men, I would recommend those channels, because them brothers right there, I see them applying the kingdom. Not only that, they know about their heritage and not stuck on the heritage and only the heritage, but they know kingdom and what's coming out of the kingdom. Whatever, they stay in the face of God. When men stay and women stay in the face of God, it produces something. It produces something that they know that they give Him the glory. Opposed to someone trying to make things and elevate themselves to be manly and manhood and everything and talk all big and trying to exalt themselves. When you can see their ways, their attributes follow Yeshua. That's how you can tell who's the real deal. Who's the real, and I feel that the Hebraic Ministries are the real deal. Because I seen these other guys, man. I listen to all of them just to see good input, and some will have one part of the truth, and some will have some good part of information, and they know how to go back in there, and they know how to dig up some archives and some books of even the other books that's continually to the Word of God, even though that some of the books that were taken out, and that that's good. But are they taking it to feed the people to apply what they do? Are they applying it in the fasting? Are they applying it in their prayer life? Or is it doing something in the spirit, allowing the Spirit to elevate them, to feed people? Just like some Christian brothers and sisters who are online, who have stood in the face of God, putting that time, that fasting, that worship. This, you will know them by their fruit, because about the information. And then if you sit there listening, this is how you know. Wait for the confirmation from the Most High, because He will confirm what these people are saying, whether they're a Christian or whether they're a Hebraic person speaking. And I just, from the Christian standpoint of view, the only people I've seen so far is one of the well-known ones. Mark is, I forgot his name, Rogers or something. And there's a few other ones that they stand, they pray, they fast, they get confirmation from God. They have huge followings, and they make an effect on people. So it shouldn't be this teeter-totter about our information. What the church don't tell you this, and what this person don't tell you this. Look, put all that aside. Bring people to the kingdom. Bring people to knowing who someone call him Jesus, or they want to call him Yeshua. Bring them to the cross, so they can get themselves set free and search themselves. Bring them to this. All this other stuff, is good for the head, but what's it going to feed the spirit? You can talk all day and talk all whatever, but if the Most High don't give you something from the Spirit to give to the people, so they won't. Somebody could be out there about ready to commit suicide. Somebody out there is about ready to commit a murder. Somebody out there is trying to figure out they got some bad medical news. Somebody's out there. There's somebody out there struggling with something. The kids and wife have left them. Their parents have turned against them because of their sexuality or something like that. That they need something from the kingdom. They need something from the kingdom to know that do some human being in this planet love them. And the first thing you do is bring them to Yeshua, Jesus, some who are Christians. That's what it is. And then God, once He get them, then He'll open up the things of the Hebraic way and the Hebraic teachings and the Hebraic way. But first you gotta get them to the cross. You gotta get them to the cross. You gotta get them to the point. And I just don't see it with none of these guys. These guys. You just hear a lot of rhetoric and everything. And I don't know, maybe it's me. I know I ain't the only one that they see it. It's like, wait a minute, what is manifesting? There's people that is manifesting things for evil. Every day they sitting up there chanting and calling on some strange spirits, whatever. They trying to call on some foreign god. And they stay faithful till something manifests. Manifest. Now if they can do that, they ain't out there debating with other. You don't see warlocks debate with warlocks, witches debate with witches, Satanists begin with Satanists, pagans against pagans. No. They too busy doing what they do. And all these other people out there doing what they do. And God's seeing, and the Most High is seeing what the results of this thing is. He's seeing the manifestation. While you got this person debating with the Christian on some part of the Bible. Oh, let's all get together and talk about this part of the Bible. Oh, meanwhile, you skip down 10,000 people that needs to hear the word. And it really is. I mean, it's like, is it elevating? Is it a message that's elevating? How do you get set free? And then once they come to understanding, and once they accept him, then it's going to be him. When they hear the teachings, then it raises them up to understanding what's happening now and how is that Bible, how is it translated to them. That's why some people is confused. It can be confusing. Well, you're hitting them with the history and the charts and everything else, and it's something could be blocking, and it could be, and Satan could be in the process of confusing them. That's why you must bring them to Yeshua. You must bring them so the Father can put His ruach in it. Then and then as the Hebraic ministry, then you can then they understand because now He got them. Then He's explaining where they at in their spirit on how does this apply. Just like when it was some who were in the church, or they transitioned from the church to the Hebraic teachings, because you can, and we had to. Some people could be careful because you can be, the enemy can jump into Hebraic teaching and have you doing all these other different things. Of what they did this and did this, so we're gonna follow this way, and it can step you away. It must be taught by the Spirit and led by the Spirit of Yah, because it won't add up. And this is what I'm learning. Watch who you get your teaching from. Examine and pray. If you watch any Christian ministry or any Hebraic ministry, let God show you, which the Most High show you, who's really of Him, who's really not, what is foolish and what is not. And the only way we can do that is when we fast and we pray, and we stay constantly in competition. And then He would show you if something come out of His kingdom that's irrelevant to His word. And those guys I mentioned about, them 3 guys, is they in the kingdom. They're from the kingdom. Then Hebraic Ministries, Rebirth, and I've offered the Hebrew Nation Camp, their kingdom. Issachar, and over at Issachar, he's kingdom. Brother L, his ministry, kingdom. How is that the kingdom? They go and apply. Not only that they give history, they take part in their ministry and apply. They apply when they go pray for the brother. They love their people, but they know that their people needs more. They need to be set free. And they apply, praying for them, casting spirit, casting things about them, and let the Most High touch them. And under orders of it, the commander. And the Most High making this His way to blessed them to go from different cities to city, and actually is doing it, and how actually help them get baptized, help them get filled with the Spirit of Ruach, help them, and ministering to them and help them grow in the Spirit. Then they get to the understanding about the Hebraic side of the word of the Torah and everything else. Then they're able to understand and then raise them up as a babe until they get of their own. That's the proper way. But these people it's good for history, and then from what I understand, some people say that the chart is, and some people say that that's not the regular chart you see out there doing it. It's hard to say, and I mean at one point, but right now, whether they are the Jacob, but there's the ones who you say are Jacob, that's what they need first. That's what they need. Before you can give them their heritage, you have to set them free and set them on the right course and give the glory back to Him. That's the main thing. And that's what I see Rebirth doing. And that's what I see, Brother L doing. And I see that one brother Issachar doing. The 3 ministries I've seen, I've heard these men online. And the women, that I see how powerful the women praise and worship. They worship. When they pray, they worship. They got song that will bring down the kingdom. That's who they are. And how I knew about Rebirth is through that brother who have the Issachar channel. But I just wanted to send a shout out, and I hope someone share this. But if those who you transitioning over from the Christian to the Hebraic, them the guys I would go with. All these other guys out here, some of these other guys, they're going in completely different directions. They give you this, and they revealing some type of truth to maintain, but there's more to the kingdom. There's more to the kingdom than just history and knowing what part of people come from over here, what part of people come from over here. It's more to the kingdom. Before they could, because some people can get puffed up in themselves. That's why you have to come, the ones that have to come out of sin. There's a process, so they can find out they are the priests, the high priest and priestess, the kings and queens, and the child of the Most High. They got to be set free first. That's true, because the Most High don't want no one puffed up with pride is in it, and they can't hear what he's saying. He said, "Well, they're not my people. I don't want to deal with that. I want to go to this go to these people." When he might say, "No, go to this person." Well, they're not part of this tribe. Go to this person. Because when you look in the Word of God, that's what they did. They went to other people when they own didn't receive them. And other people, and some of these other people individually who were not Hebrews had the signs, wonders, and miracles. Can somebody explain about that? If it was just, the line over here, the line over here, the line over here. But the reality of it is, these people who was not of the line of David, King David, some of them but they experienced the miracle. They experienced the deliverance. They experienced the healing. The blind was able to see. The dead was able to raise. But yet, some Christians are going to have this ability to do that. The ones who are aligned with Him and going to start doing it. So it's some Hebraic ministries. Because the kingdom, it's not about self and puffing up and this is who you are and okay, and self-absorbing and it's exalting itself. It's about Him. And when they represent the Most High, you have a certain way, and people will see the change. They will hear it in your voice. That's who the Most High. That's who you the ones know from, whether they Christians or whether they runs from the Hebraic ministry. It's the kingdom, because they talk like they Father. They spend time with the Father. They spend time with Yeshua, so they present themselves like Yeshua. They don't talk like they cut and laugh, but they ain't they ain't gotta get all down and greasy and cussing and fussing and that go all the way to the end. They're different, and even people they won't understand. Even people that's in sin will, if you don't give out something that you have spent time with who you've been given honor to the point that you've been His president. He put His glory over you to the point that you can go out there into the darkness of the world, into the sinners on the street. And when people know, it's something that they're drawn to you. They're drawn. They're physically drawn to you, and they like you. They don't know why they're drawn to you. And this is when you know when they're from the kingdom, because they start telling some deep hurt things that they want to confess. And basically, if you're the ambassadorship, you hear from, because the Most High you have used you to hear their problems. And then He will give you solutions to solve their problem. And whether you're Hebrew or whether you're Christian, if you got that, that's the true holiness of the Father. To the point you ain't got to sit there. If you had to quote scriptures, they would know. I mean, it's good to know the scriptures though, just to back up some questions. But when they see that, when they know, they can feel the presence. They know peace. His peace, able to go to sleep. Peace as they calm down. It's never rumble and ruckus. When someone been in the presence of the Most High through His Son Yeshua, in the Christian world Jesus, peace will come over. The atmosphere change. Something, even people that will confess to you things. That's when you know. Then the prophets, the elect of the Most High God. I mean, it's like you're next thing to an angel almost, practically. Well, you're not an angel, but you're next thing, because it's the presence of the Most High. That's who you can tell who from the kingdom is. When you can walk into the place and people know it, you don't have to scream it out loud. You can walk down the street. They know when you spend time with the Father. I'm just dropping some jewels. So those of you who want to know which Hebraic ministries that operate, who's truly kingdom? Kingdom. Certainly not the camps. But the three that I saw so far, the many few, and they let the kingdom operate. Even the women have a certain operation. I hear it in the women when they sing. When they worship, there's a certain operation. So I just want to send a shout out to them and say, man, God may y'all bless them and bless those different ministries and stuff like that. Because believe it or not, there's many people like us. So we're taking note. We're listening. And I pray that other people, it would affect their spiritual life. And whatever their worship, whatever their praise, when the message is released, I hope it set people free. I hope that y'all will continue to use those Hebraic brothers in their ministries, because they have a powerful message. I've heard the messages of power from the kingdom. Only kingdom people who have the spirit of His Ruach recognize kingdom, not just fancy talk. Kingdom talk, kingdom teaching, kingdom ladies and gentlemen. That's who they are. So I just want to send a shout out to and salute them. And people banging against them or talking about them. I would suggest you not do that. Don't do it, because those are God's sons. Those are sons He raising for a time like this. Them brothers down at Rebirth, Brother L and Brother Wayne, them brothers stay in the face of God, Yah. They stay in the face of Yah, and it's producing. And their ministries are powerful. Their worship is powerful. That the music, even if you don't quite understand certain things, you might be able to be there, but those who have been to church and have an understanding of the word and seen things, experienced the things, the signs and wonders of the Most High Yah, and seeing the Hebraic side of the teachings, we know when we see kingdom. We know we may not have a favorite name. We may not look a certain type. That's the thing. We don't look a certain type. We don't look a certain way. But it's the things that's around that you take notice. So those of you who don't know which one is which one's who has the anointing, I'm gonna shoot them three names in my box. Them the brothers. You need to seek them on YouTube. These other people, when you see what the focus is on, most of the time when you see the page popped up, you'll know the difference. And they're honoring all the traditional holidays of the Most High. Same time, the Most High tell them this is what they need to do to bring it into this dimension of the Word. I truly believe that. And they've had that church experience too. But the thing about it is, now Yah has put the elevation to a whole different dimension. Sometimes you might have to go through Christianity to understand, to get over to Hebraic. Because if you haven't walked to a center, they don't understand that. It might confuse them. So sometimes with a person who's just coming as a babe into the understanding who the Most High is, He has to take them through seasons and process in His Word and let them go through experiences and things so they can understand. That's what He had to do with me. That's why I can understand the transition from the Christian teaching into the Hebraic teachings and understand where these guys are coming from. He has a season which you're not going to get it all at once. And sometimes you have to be careful because you can step out of season and it can be confusing. And you don't want to be off track listening to different individuals. And you got to watch who you listen to. Make sure they're kingdom. Make sure that they're in prayer and something prayer, because He will confirm that they've been in prayer with Him. That's what He let me know about Rebirth. That one brother, I think they call him Morris, he stayed connected to the Most High. He stayed connected. The Most High showed me him in a dream, him and Josh. That's why I can say that. Them brothers, they're the real deal. But anyway, I hope people enjoy this video. And if my suggestion, if you're wandering from Christianity to Hebraic, who to follow, who to really listen, who got the truth, them brothers right there have it. So you guys take care till next time. My name is James. Just want to compliment and pay good compliments to the men who really stand for the truth, the true men of Yah, who really displayed the power, the inner teachings of Yah, who's not playing and understand what time it is with the kingdom right now, what the people need, and stay in Yah's face, whether it's in the closet in prayer or on their time. And that's what I noticed. So hopefully this video will inspire someone to go to their channels But I just them the ones to check out. So thank you for hearing my video. Till next time, take care.